Hey guys, so the first of the two cars that I'm going to show here is this 73 MGB convertible. Now this one's been sitting around for years. There's no telling how many years exactly. It's a wire wheel car. It's in fairly decent shape overall. It is completely covered in dust and just stuff from sitting around forever. The tires are mostly all shot, but it's complete and it's all there. Now going into the engine bay, this one has the normal B series engine that it would normally have. It's got the set of HIF carburetors, but as you can tell, it's seen better days. Lord knows when it ran last. The engine seems to turn over by hand, but it is absolutely disgusting in here, as most of them are that have been sitting around forever. So I'm going to try to clean it up a little bit and see where we're at. Okay, so here we are a little bit later. Obviously, I pressure washed the engine to get a lot of stuff out, and you can tell that a ton of stuff has been removed from the engine bay so that I can have kind of a better idea on how to approach this thing. There's no telling how the wiring is on these cars. There's no telling if the thing will even run, how the plugs are or anything. But I like to start with as clean as I can get it for right now, just to start from a good point. So after pressure washing the engine bay, I decided I'd go ahead and pressure wash the car. So you can see the windshield looks nice and clean now. The car's fairly just rinsed off. The stain on the driver's side fender right there, I'm not exactly sure what that is, if it's paint or so, but maybe with elbow grease I can get that off. The interior, unfortunately, is completely shot, as most of them are. The seats are gone. The hood, or the top, as they say, is gone. But the bumpers seem to be in fairly good shape, and the car looks good overall. Coming back around to the front real quick, you can see that the grill's mostly all there with a couple of small things missing, but it looks good. So now is the fun part of kind of taking out the interior and addressing what the floors look like and the rest of the car from the inside. Most of you know that more times than not, especially exposed to the elements, there's gonna be rust in the floor, rust issues. So um, just wanted to get the seats and everything out and see where I'm at from a body standpoint and if the floors are gonna have to be replaced. The passenger side is now out, and I can have a chance to look at both floors, which will be nice. In the floorboard over here was this awesome can of brake fluid, which I'll probably slap right into any of my cars, and it should be perfectly fine. Um, Looks like it's maybe, I don't know, a couple of months old or so. But no, I'm totally joking. I wouldn't use the stuff. I have no idea how old it is, but yeah, it's been there for a while. I've gotten the car to a point here to where all of the interior, except for the door cards and stuff, has been taken out. So I have full access to the floors to see how bad the problem spots are. And I've got all the top off and everything else. I went to go check the trunk. The trunk, after I cleaned it out, was good overall. Got some small surface rust areas, but the car really is starting to kind of clean up. And I know that I'm kind of just removing things, but that in itself is actually making the car really just look better. So it's at this point in time where I decide, okay, I need to address the engine, see if I can't get the engine moving. I'm going to use some Marvel Mystery Oil, put it down into the cylinders, and then make sure that I'm able to rotate it freely. So, but it's to me, it's starting to clean up really good and look nice. So I'm getting kind of excited. I mean, I get excited with all of them, but it looks good. All right, so it's starting to get dark and cold out here now. So I ran completely out of daylight, but it does get really, really dark out in this area. That being said, I still wanted to get this Marvel Mystery Oil going into the cylinders, just to make sure that I didn't have any kind of issues. So I'm going to take this Marvel Mystery Oil here, and I'm going to put it in each of the spark plug holes. And so that way, whenever I come out tomorrow, I'm able to sit there and hopefully turn the engine over smoothly before I do a compression test or try to get the actual car running. Well, admittedly, I did want to work on this thing the next day. The unfortunate thing is that I couldn't. I wanted to go ahead and take off the airbox for the HIF carburetors so that I could see if they were functioning correctly in case I did want to run the car. But I've got so many projects, it's kind of hard to do everything. I did get down to taking the radiator out and everything so I could get the crank pulley exposed so it'd be easy for me to come back to, and that way it's ready for me to do a compression test, try to get running or whatever. But as it sits right now, this one has to kind of shift to the side, but there'll be more stuff later.
We're trying to collect a lot of the MGs that are like some of the more rare ones and stuff like that for the shop. This is definitely it definitely fits the bill. So Kevin and I are both really excited about this one. Had no idea we were gonna go pick this thing up, but it was an amazing find. So we're gonna put it back to original and beautiful, restored. It's just gonna be some time, but I'm excited about it.
So this is actually an MGC. It looks like an MGB from a distance, but as it has the hood bulge and some of the other things, it is one of 4,500 convertibles that was made from 67 to 69. This is a 69. As you can see, it is an MGC, which is actually a different car. This was going to be the new Austin Healey, but Donald Healey apparently didn't want it to be a Healey, and so it never happened. It just became the MGC. But this car actually has a 2.9 liter inline six in it instead of the normal B series engine. I'll get to that in a second. But I mean, it's in really kind of rough shape, but for what we got it for, I'm not complaining at all. I mentioned earlier the hood bulge. There's actually a couple of bulges here, but that was to help accommodate that 2.9 liter inline six because it's a big engine. They also had to address the suspension, but I'll show you the engine here and you can see the difference. Okay, so this is the 2.9 that I'm talking about. It's a pretty heavy engine, unfortunately. Um, Not something they were expecting when they went to go build the car. That's why they had to make certain modifications for the front suspension and everything. It does have the dual setup for the brake boosters and the master cylinder. I'm not a big fan of that. If I am not going to go period correct and try to get it back, because from my understanding, the parts are difficult to get a hold of, I may try to make a more efficient braking system for it, and then just do away with one of the boosters. So, but it's got the two SUs on it. Would have been nice to have, three carbs, but two SUs, and it's not a bad engine from what I understand. It's got some issues. So I'm gonna go ahead and clean it all up right now and just see if I can't get a better idea of where I'm at with it. So you can see one of our 69 or 70s in the background, as well as some other stuff that's back there. But like I said, I'm just gonna kind of clean it up and see where we're at with it. So real quick, this is a 4-speed with the overdrive, which is great because that extra gear really does help. All right, so now that's all clean, I've got a better understanding of where I'm at with some stuff. Um, Unfortunately, just like the red car, because like I've mentioned before, we've got many projects. I've got other cars that I'm actually working on. I'm not going to be able to go too much deeper into this right now. So there will be a point in time to where I try to pull it into the shop and go through it, but now's not going to be the time. However, this does help me have a better starting point. It's not as filthy, and hopefully I'll have new videos of it here soon, which will be nice, but it might not be for a couple of months at least. Anyways, guys, this is how it started, and here's how it sits now. But I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope to post some more stuff here in the next couple of months. Take it easy. Later.